Entering the Nordic market, and specifically Denmark, can be an attractive step for foreign business consultants, but it is rarely a straightforward one. In this video, we will unpack the key obstacles you are likely to encounter and why a thoughtful, locally informed approach is essential if you want to build a sustainable consulting practice here. Let us start with expectations. Denmark is often perceived as a highly open, globalized economy, with strong digital infrastructure, transparent regulations, and a widespread proficiency in English. All of that is true, but it can create a dangerous illusion that market entry will be quick, informal, and frictionless. In practice, the Danish consulting market is small, mature, and relationship-driven, with well-established local and international players already trusted by clients. Your first obstacle, therefore, is market saturation and differentiation. Danish clients, both in the private and public sectors, are used to working with a handful of recognized brands and boutique firms that understand local norms, sectoral dynamics, and regulatory specifics. Simply replicating your offering from another market and translating your slide deck into English will not be enough. You need a very clear answer to why a Danish client should choose you over the incumbent advisors they already know. And that answer must be grounded in demonstrable value, such as deep specialization in a niche capability, credible sector expertise, or access to international networks that Danish firms cannot easily replicate themselves. A second obstacle is the cultural and communication gap, which is subtle but powerful. Denmark has a relatively low power distance culture and a strong emphasis on consensus, equality, and pragmatism. Clients will expect you to be direct without being aggressive, confident without being grandiose, and collaborative rather than purely directive. Overselling, inflated promises, or aggressive cross-selling will erode trust quickly. Meetings are typically informal in style but rigorous in content. Formality of language is less important than clarity, preparation, and honesty about what you can and cannot deliver. You may find that decision-making appears slow, with multiple stakeholders weighing in, but once a decision is made, implementation usually proceeds with discipline. Learning to navigate this consensus-driven environment and being patient with the process is essential. Language is often underestimated. While English is widely spoken, especially in larger companies and among younger professionals, many critical conversations, including those around internal politics, budget trade-offs, and long-term priorities, still happen in Danish. Key written materials, such as internal memos, board packs, or public tenders, may also be predominantly in Danish. As a foreign consultant, not speaking the language can limit your access to informal insights and can subtly position you as an outsider. This does not mean you must be fluent from day one, but you should seriously consider investing in basic Danish language skills and, where relevant, partnering with bilingual colleagues or local associates who can bridge that gap and help you interpret not just the words, but also the nuance behind them. Another major challenge is the procurement and tendering environment, especially if you aim to work with the public sector or larger corporates. Denmark places a strong emphasis on transparency, fairness, and compliance with EU procurement rules, which means many consulting engagements, even relatively small ones, are sourced through structured tender processes. These processes can be complex, time-consuming, and heavily documentation-driven. For a foreign firm, simply understanding how to position yourself in framework agreements, how to price services competitively yet sustainably, and how to demonstrate relevant local references can be a significant barrier. You may need to start smaller, build a track record through subcontracts or pilot projects, and gradually qualify for larger tenders once you have an established presence and credible references in the Danish context. Trust and reputation are particularly important in a small and interconnected market. Denmark's business community is tight-knit, word travels fast, and relationships often span many years and multiple companies. This can be an obstacle if you arrive with no local track record, references, or sponsorship from established players. Cold outreach alone is unlikely to be effective. Instead, you will need to invest in building genuine relationships through industry associations, chambers of commerce, sector-specific networks, and collaborations with local firms or independent consultants. Thought leadership can help, but it must be tightly targeted and grounded in issues that Danish executives actually care about, such as green transition, digitalization of public services, or operational efficiency in specific sectors. Generic global content will not resonate. What matters is your ability to contextualize insights to Danish regulations, labor market structures, and cultural expectations. The regulatory and employment environment is another area where foreign consultants can stumble. While Denmark is known for relatively straightforward company registration and a pro-business climate, there are specific regulations around taxation, social security, data privacy, and employment law that you must understand. For instance, if you plan to build a local team, you will need to navigate collective bargaining agreements, holiday regulations, and expectations around work-life balance that are more stringent than in many other markets. Danish employees value autonomy, flexibility, and a high degree of trust. Overly hierarchical management styles or unrealistic workload expectations will undermine your ability to recruit and retain strong local talent. You should also be aware that Danish clients will often probe your compliance posture, including how you handle data protection and confidentiality. Having clear, locally compliant policies is not just a legal necessity, it is part of establishing credibility. Pricing and value perception form another obstacle. Denmark is a high-cost market with high salary levels and strong social benefits, which can create pressure on your cost structure if you are building a local presence. At the same time, Danish clients are generally price-sensitive and focused on tangible outcomes. They are willing to pay for quality, but they look closely at the ratio between cost and measurable impact. Day rates that might be standard in some larger markets can be perceived as excessive if not clearly justified by specialized expertise or significant value creation. To succeed, you will need a pricing strategy that reflects local expectations, offers transparency, and links your fees to concrete deliverables or outcomes wherever possible. This might mean more modular offerings, clear scoping, and visible transfer of capabilities to client teams rather than open-ended advisory arrangements. Finally, there is the challenge of patience and time horizon. Many foreign consultants underestimate how long it takes to establish credibility in Denmark. The sales cycle can be lengthy. Multiple meetings, pilots, and informal references may be required before a client commits to a substantial engagement. Pushing for rapid expansion without a realistic pipeline and without adapting your approach can lead to frustration and unnecessary cost. A more effective strategy is to frame the first 1 to 2 years as an investment phase. Focus on learning, networking, targeted pilots, and building a small portfolio of highly successful local cases. Over time, these will serve as the foundation for referrals, repeat business, and broader recognition. In summary, entering the Danish market as a foreign business consultant is less about overcoming obvious barriers and more about mastering a set of subtle, interlocking challenges. Differentiating in a saturated and sophisticated market, adapting to a consensus-driven and egalitarian business culture, navigating language and procurement realities, respecting regulatory and employment norms, calibrating your pricing to local expectations, and taking a long-term view on relationship building and brand development. If you approach Denmark with humility, preparation, and a willingness to localize your model, rather than simply export your existing one, the market can be highly rewarding. The clients you win will expect a great deal from you, but they are also likely to be loyal and collaborative partners. As you plan your Nordic strategy, make sure Denmark is not just a dot on your map, but a market you understand in depth, with a clear and realistic plan for how you will earn your place at the table.